it will be- Yes, yeah. So namaste once again. I'll come back to your question. So yesterday I mentioned how the Hanuman master breath, which you are using when you are channeling your breath up the spine, is like a vacuum cleaner. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Monica ji? Is it clear? Yeah. So your Hanuman master breath is like a vacuum cleaner. There are 72,000 nadis in your body. Whatever blockages, whatever issues are there in all those 72,000 nadis, ultimately will find their way into the Sushumna. They will impact the Sushumna. So when you start using the Sushumna like a vacuum cleaner, as you pull it up, ये जो सारी गंदगी आ रही है, निकल रही है यहाँ से, constant work needs to be done. So it's pulling out everything from different nadis. In your case, it started working very quickly on your legs because for some reason it has been able to access. किसी और का और दूसरी जगह में भी impact आ सकता है. Because see, everyone has a unique way of breathing. The in breath. मैंने जितना भी आपको सिखाया, उसके बावजूद there are many uniquenesses in everybody's way of breathing. So continue doing this. Is a very, very powerful technique. Not only will it clear, like in your case, what you have noticed with your leg issues, leg pain issues, sciatica, fibromyalgia, lower back pain, chronic back pain, all of these are very quickly dealt with, very quickly. Very powerful technique. Make the most of it. Okay, anything else? Any other question?
Yesterday I was not present, and you sent me a message that you will be repeating whatever you did yesterday, because yesterday it was not possible to record.
Yes. So we will begin again with whatever we did yesterday. Who else is here? I can't see others for some reason. Who else is here? Okay, Santosh ji is here. Very good. Gurpreet ji is here. Very good. Rashmi ji is here. Lakshmi ji is here. Neetu ji and Lalita ji. Okay. Okay, excellent. I'm so sorry. I'm using my phone, so therefore I cannot see everyone at the same time. And therefore, sometimes my response may be a little slower or whatever. Please bear with me. Important thing is that I would do the class, because if I try to reschedule the class, सबको कोई ना कोई अलग अलग इशू होता, किसी को कोई टाइम सूट करता, किसी को कोई दूसरा टाइम सूट करता. So I said, rather than go into that and then try and accommodate everybody's needs, let me try and do the class anyway. There will be some difficulty, but we'll manage. And thank you for your cooperation and letting me do this. Right. So first, Monica ji, ये जो breath work आप कर रहे थे, 2 channels you have become cognizant of. One is moving from your Sahasrara to the Mooladhara. The other is moving from the Mooladhara up the spine. These 2 channels. थोड़ी देर breath work करिए, do your exercises, everyone. Get a sense of this, and I will reintroduce what we did yesterday so that there is better clarity. चलिए सबको करिए please. Do your free hand exercises and both the channels. Become aware of both your channels. So as you become aware of both the channels, I think then we can start going into our other practice, but bring this awareness. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you so much. So kind of you. Did I give you my card? Yes, I had. Oh, you have. Thank you. Bye-bye. You're not taking? Yeah, I had an 11 o'clock class. So I said I won't be able to reach home. And if I try to do it in the car, then because of the movement, the connection will be bad. Then sorry to overuse your. Thank you, sir. Bye.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, please.
Hello,
Yes,
sir. I
Monica.
have a question.
Yes.
When I breathe in, it's going
Hmm.
right down to the Muladhara. But while breathing out, if I want to put all the breath out, I want to exhale fully, then I have to put some effort. Is it okay?
Naturally, if you're trying to take a full breath out, you will have to make a bit of an effort. At the moment, don't worry about that. At the moment, the in breath is coming down towards your Muladhara. One good part of it is moving up the spine. This is enough. Out breath, you are channeling up the spine. Perfect. Abhi aap overdo karne jayenge because see, we don't know what blockages you are dealing with now. So initially, I don't push too much on this. But remember, the Hanuman master breath it's a vacuum cleaner. It's a very powerful vacuum cleaner. In one of the earlier programs, one of the participants already had a lot of phlegm issue, lot of heavy kapha issue, very heavy kapha issue. So when she started doing some of this breathwork technique, that kapha just started, rising hugely to collect in that throat area. Galti meri thi ki I did not advise her in advance ki start your gargle twice a day. Had she started that, the problem wouldn't have gotten as bad as it did. So therefore, in your case, I told you all in the beginning ki gargle karte rahiyega, because as we do this Hanuman master breath, you're pulling it up, and since this is the kapha related problem or kapha related course, therefore this movement that will happen will create some problem in the throat area, and then the collection will also happen in the lungs. So if you throw it out by a gargling once or twice a day, you'll be far better placed. So please continue with this breath work when you become very clearly aware of both the channels. One is flowing from the Sahasrara down towards the Muladhara. You will probably get a sense that it's somewhere in the center of your body. You'll probably get that sense. And the out breath, or part of the in breath, which is moving up along the spine, and then later the out breath, will be a little behind, along the spine. So when both the channels are working, it'll feel like a U, One is coming down and one is going up. So it's like two channels moving simultaneously, two channels moving simultaneously. That's the kind of sense you will get.
And at the bottom, it will be in U shape.
You may get that sense or you may not get that sense. Don't worry about it. As long as
above.
अभी उसपे उतना jump मत करिए. अभी both the awareness of both these channels is more important. That the energy is flowing through both these channels, that is the more important thing at the moment. ये सब बात की बात. Okay. Yes, Rashmi ji.
Sir, good morning. I had a question. Say, for example, people who cannot raise their hands above their shoulder level. So how do we go about it?
Once again, can you repeat the question, please?
I said, if people cannot raise their hands above their shoulders.
And why? Why are they not able? Why aren't they able to do it? Why can't they do it?
because of frozen shoulder or some pain in the shoulder.
Oh, okay, great, 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 very good. So ये जो breathwork technique है ना, the one where you are drawing breath from the Mooladhara up along the spine, the Hanuman
Uh-huh.
Master. This itself is a great cure for that frozen shoulder or fibromyalgia, sciatica. अभी तो मैं बता ही रहा था, I think Monica जी को अभी बता रहा था. So continue doing this. If your hand is not moving, doesn't matter. जितना होता करते रहिए. Don't give up. Don't give up on whatever your body capable of doing. Try to push it gently, a little, but don't give up. If you give up, then how will you overcome it? So continue with whatever you can. और जैसे जैसे आप जितना ज्यादा हनुमान मास्टर ब्रेथ करोगे, you can actually do it all day long. ये जो channeling of the breath है up the spine, you can actually do it all day long. And if you do, you will find that your condition, your fibromyalgia, your frozen shoulder will get a huge relief. So all you do for that particular problem is when your breath is moving up and it's coming to the area where the pain is, if you get that sense, mentally hold that breath in that area, like a mentally, rukna nahi hai, but mentally as if that breath is spreading in that area and cleansing it and moving out. But just get that sense as if it's working through that area, taking away the pain from that area. It's a very powerful technique. It'll give you excellent results.
Thank you. And so like you said, you can do throughout. Is there any requirement of, post food or anything like snacks? You have to wait, or you can start immediately?
No, you can do this almost anytime. Only don't use too much pressure. Do it very gently. आराम से करते रहिएगा. Sometimes when people do it, they start building stress into their body. If they start building stress into their body, then instead of giving a positive result, it may give a negative result in some other area. इसमें भले थोड़ा काम हो जाएगा. So just take it easy. Just keep working it very आराम से, very smoothly, very relaxedly.
Sure. Thank you.
I observed one more thing, sir.
Gee. In fact, one second. Yeah. Sorry, go on. Go on.
I observed one more thing. When I'm doing it throughout the day, it is for me it is becoming a little bit challenging to engage the Mooladhara while doing it all over the day.
Engaging the
Mooladhara already.
You don't have
I'm already working.
No, you don't have to engage the Mooladhara all the time. You don't have to. Abhi jo bhi kar rahe hain, it is only for the morning this practice. So you become aware of the Mooladhara. See, lot of people build a lot of stress into the Mooladhara. So therefore you find many people, especially women, they have many pelvic floor issues. Issues connected with the pelvic floor. Anal muscles, vaginal muscles, etc., all connected with the pelvic floor. So as you do this Hanuman Master Breath, as you start cleansing, clearing the energy from that up the spine, सब चीजों में आपको relief मिलना शुरू हो जाएगा. So don't engage the Mooladhara too much. For the exercise, for the awareness, very good. Because it's only through this awareness that you will understand कि अभी मैंने relax कर लिया Mooladhara को. या अभी engage कर लिया मूलाधार को. So अभी what have we started with a very gentle engagement of the Mooladhara. Remember what I said in the first day that we started doing it. You engage very gently, lift it very gently. That's it.
My sleep quality has improved a lot.
What quality?
Quality of sleep has improved a lot.
Yes, quality of sleep will improve hugely. In fact, यदि किसी को भी sleep का issue है, when you go to bed, breathe into your belly button. जो in breath आ रही है ना, breathe it into the belly button. Short breaths, not very long breaths. Because when we go to sleep, our breathing cycle becomes a little short. So short breaths into the belly button, out breath from the Mooladhara or from the tailbone, out breath up the spine. 5 minutes करिए, ऐसे you'll sleep like a baby almost. A little while ago, Monica ji was talking about how this breath work, especially the Hanuman Master Breath, has helped her overcome some of her leg pain issues. Monica ji, will you share it with Rashmi ji? She was asking about the frozen shoulder, etc. You might be able to encourage her a little more. So
I had
Rashmi,
my leg muscles were almost very stiff, and even after walking for half an hour or so, it would give me cramps. I couldn't sleep or rest because of those cramps. Sleeping had become a little bit tougher for me just because the pain in the leg continued. But since
Hmm.
I'm doing this breath work these last few days, it has improved a lot. And almost the pain, earlier it used to happen that if I'm sitting for an hour on a chair and if I stand up and walk, I was not able to walk normally. But this has changed a lot after doing
Hmm.
this breath work.
Thank you,
So
Monica, for sharing. Thank you.
yes, yes, thank you. So मोनिका जी, इसका आप थोड़ा टेस्टिमोनियल बना दें तो बहुत अच्छा रहे, because a lot of people can gain from that.
Yes, yes. I surely make it.
जी जी जी. In fact, I think yesterday also some people had mentioned some of the things, and I had requested them also. But कोई कर देगा तो अच्छा रहेगा. जितनों को लाभ मिले अच्छा है ना. The more we are able to help overcome their pain or chronic issues with their bodies and so on. Fibromyalgia itself is a very painful condition, and sometimes people suffer from fibromyalgia all lives long.
What is
Doctors
it?
give them
I'm not sure what is exactly fibromyalgia. What condition is
fibromyalgia is
it?
a kind of nerve problem which causes huge pain in the shoulders. It's very near, it's similar to frozen shoulder. Sometimes it could seem as if it is frozen shoulder, and it lasts a very long time. Sleeping becomes very difficult. Sleep quality suffers terribly. Am I right, Rashmi ji? Is that what is happening? Rashmi ji?
Sir, I don't, fortunately, I do not suffer from it. It's my
Okay.
aunt. So that's why
Okay.
I'd asked whether, if
Okay.
probably then she can enroll for the next class.
Okay. Okay.
I'd ask
Fine.
for her. Yeah. So
So
yeah, it is quite painful. It's quite painful, and it is. She's from past 10 years. She's suffering from it.
there we
With
go. So
so many doctors. Yeah, she
it is
can
fibromyalgia.
consult.
Believe me, it is fibromyalgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So her case may take a little longer because it's a very long standing thing. But if she continues doing just this Hanuman master breaths, आराम से करती रहेंगी, suddenly she'll start feeling कि कुछ फर्क आ रहा है, कुछ फर्क आ रहा है, कुछ फर्क आ रहा है. And then suddenly she'll feel कि ये तो कहाँ गायब हो गया, मालूम ही नहीं पड़ा. It will just disappear away from her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm saying this because I've gone through this. This is the reason I'm saying it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Most welcome. Okay, so is everyone now clearly aware of both the channels of breath? Is that awareness clearly available to all?
Yes.
That's one yes from
Yes, sir.
Monica ji. Okay, two.
It's not.
Yes.
It is.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
three.
Yes,
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes.
very good. Okay, okay, five. So I think everybody is becoming clearly aware of both the channels working simultaneously, right? That's the operative word, simultaneously. Because then that means you are now clearly aware there are two channels working. Because it's happening simultaneously, obviously they have to be two. Otherwise, how will you feel in both? How will you feel two different kind of flows of breath? Very good. Now you may lie down on your back, pull your heels to your buttocks, let your knees point to the ceiling. Hold that position and continue working the breath the same way that you were doing just now. Keep your belly super relaxed. Om. 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 Oh, Geeta ji is here. Welcome, Geeta ji. Namaste. That's very nice of you to come, despite feeling sleepy.
Yes, namaste, Guruji. Sorry.
Namaste ji.
No.
So pull your heels up and let your breath flow through both the channels simultaneously. So ये is इन दोनों breath channels के अलावा, now I want you to become aware of a very subtle channel. You can think of it as something along the surface of the body. You can also think of it as something like an etheric body, like an auric body surrounding the body. है ना, जो अपना physical body है, इसके around this body, there is another like an energy field. Now, in the physical body, when we breathe through our nose, and that's how it should be, and that's how the system works. Perfectly all right. But in this etheric body, if you think of it as the etheric body, you can actually draw in subtle energy from the Manipura. Manipura is where you were connected with your mother. You know, the navel, that's where your mother was, was connected when you were in your mother's belly. And all the sustenance that your body needed was coming from your mother through the umbilical cord that is connected to your navel. So now this same umbilical cord, in a sense, is connected to the universal mother. But we are just not aware of the mother. Just as a baby is not aware of the mother through whom this life force, etc., is flowing inside the baby as the baby is growing. Everything that is growing inside the baby is coming from the mother. I know. Similarly, everything that is happening inside you is coming from the universal mother. But this connection seems to have been a little broken, or we're not so aware of this connection anymore. So try to re-establish this connection with the universal mother. If philosophically, if it's okay with you, if you have issues with this philosophically, you can think of it as just drawing in energy from the Manipura. So you're drawing in a very subtle kind of energy through the Manipura as you breathe in. The breath that is coming, it's a very subtle breath from the Manipura. One part of it is moving down towards your Swadhisthana and your Muladhara, and one part is also moving up towards the lungs, chest, and so on, bringing its gentle warmth into that whole region, into your whole body, and of course suffusing the whole system with a subtle energy. Very health giving, very energizing kind of energy, something that kind of replenishes you, rejuvenates you. That's the kind of energy that's coming directly in through your Manipura. The more you continue doing this, the more you will become aware of a certain spot near the navel. You'll become aware of a certain spot near the navel where this energy seems to be working its way into you. So now as you do this, continue doing this, think of connecting with the universal mother so that you are also well protected. If you like, you can also connect with Hanumanji so that you have an extra layer of protection. When our energies are weak, for whatever reason, if our energies are weak, we start becoming a little susceptible to negative forces. So we need to protect ourselves from these negative forces. Now, some people might say, what are these negative forces? Energy, after all, is just energy. How can there be positive energy and how can there be negative energy? And that's correct. But if energy has gone, just like air is air, all air, how can there be anything wrong with the air? But there is sometimes air that smells fragrant, and there is sometimes air that smells unpleasant, smelly, not nice. So same thing happens with energy. If a certain energy has passed through a certain situation, a certain energy, a certain mind, that impacts the energy, that imbues the energy with a certain character. Now, if you are internally very strong, it will not touch you too much. It may not affect you so much. But if for any reason your own energy is weak, if for any reason you are going through a lowish period, during times like this, you might need a little protection. Therefore, Hanumanji is a great source of protection. He is my Ishta Devta. He is the one who's given me all my breath work, insights, clarity, techniques, and so on. And he's the one who gives protection not only to me, but to anyone who connects through me, because in that sense, I am sharing what Hanumanji is given. So Hanumanji becomes your protector directly as well. You can ask him for protection. This protection will work for you in this way and in many other ways.
I'm feeling vibrations near the Manipura.
Who's saying this? Monica ji, very good.
Yes.
Monica ji, आप तो अवश्य भ्रष्ट योगी हैं आप. अवश्य. I'm sorry, I'm saying this again.
So Bhrashta Yogi has a credits of doing yoga in the past.
Yes, yeah, that's why. See, that means your practice became brushed. It doesn't mean that you became brushed or you became bad.
Yes,
No,
yes.
it just means whatever you were doing, that discontinued. So your practice as a yogi or yogini or whatever discontinued. And therefore, with a little bit of extra work, you can revive pretty much whatever you were doing earlier or where you were at earlier. So in a sense, being a brushed yogi is a good thing. So when you do things like this and your body starts responding faster, obviously it means कि कहीं ना कहीं पहले का कुछ connection है, तभी इतने जल्दी आप पे उसका impact हो रहा है.
Yes, yes, yes.
Otherwise, adhyatmic practices people do for years, decades, and sometimes even lifetimes, and they seem not to get so much benefit. But there are some who start, and they start getting very quick results. They start seeing quick developments, changes, improvements.
I have been initiated in the Gayatri mantra, and today I was doing my japa with the breath work. It feels so calm, so calm.
Yes. So when you do your Gayatri mantra with the breath work, channel your breath in such a way you can actually break Gayatri mantra into 4 parts. Not break, but like in 4 breaths. Yeah, one in breath and one out breath. You do half of
I've been
Gayatri.
doing into whole in one in breath and another complete in a one out breath.
Okay, fine. Even better if you're doing that. But you shouldn't be rushing through it. So that's
No,
the
no,
only.
I'm doing it very, very calmly, very, very calmly.
Gee, excellent. Om. 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 So I think everyone is beginning to get some sense of energy flowing through the Manipura into the body. So continue doing this. The milder, the subtler this flow, the better. So now what you can do is, as you continue doing this, you remember that little technique we had used earlier at the tailbone, the dilation, the lotus opening at the tailbone. Bring that same lotus opening sense, as if you are opening a door in the Manipura area, as if you're just parting your, that area a little so that energy flows in a little more easily through the Manipura. So try to do a little bit of that lotus opening at the Manipura as you draw energy through the Manipura. Let that energy circulate downwards and upwards both. And when you do this dilation, when you do this lotus opening, you should start feeling certain sensations almost immediately. If you feel those sensations, it means you have done the lotus opening well.
Can you please repeat the lotus opening technique?
Yeah, so the lotus opening is similar to the dilation that we did earlier. You remember at the
Yes,
tailbone,
yes, at the Muladhara, yeah,
yes, at the
at the
Muladhara,
tailbone.
when we allowed the out breath to move, and then of course
Yes,
we also did it with the in breath. So that same
yes.
kind of dilation, it's a very gentle, it's a very subtle thing that happens. You know, it's not a very obvious kind of a thing, but it happens because you've seen when you do it at the tailbone, the quality of your breath changes. Your breath feels a little smoother, a little lighter as it moves up the spine. So that same kind of dilation, that same kind of lotus opening is what you are bringing to your Manipura now. Bring that lotus opening at the Manipura as you are channeling breath into and through the Manipura. When you do that lotus opening, and if it happens reasonably well, you will start feeling sensations in your body almost immediately, within a minute, a couple of minutes. Keep your belly super relaxed. So if anyone starts feeling those sensations, you can tell me so I know कि हाँ आपको कुछ उसका impact आ रहा है. Om.
I don't know is it my visualization or what, but I can feel like a lotus going around near the belly.
You can feel a what?
It's like a lotus, 1,000 petal lotus going in circular motions near the belly button.
Very interesting. So the 1,000 petal lotus is actually seen at the Sahasrara, but anyway, maybe your Sahasrara or that energy from the Sahasrara is being sensed in your Manipura. So that is not part of my experience. So I will not comment on that. It is your experience, and I will appreciate that, and I will accept it. So this program is called the lotus opening because the sushumna that runs through your system from the Manipura all the way to the Sahasrara, you can visualize this as a lotus stem, as the lotus. As the lotus rises, as the lotus grows, for example, in your Muladhar, it has 4 petals. In the Swadhisthana, it has 6 petals. In the Manipura, it has 10 petals. In the Anahata, it has 12 petals. In Vishuddhi, it is 16. In the Agya Chakra, it's actually 96 or 2. You can visualize both, or you can visualize 2 big petals consisting of smaller petals, so equaling a total of 96. And then, of course, your Sahasrara is the 1,000-petaled lotus. Now, there are ways of interpreting this, looking at this in different ways, but basically, these are the connections, the neural connections in your system, and more the connections, the more is your experience of rising above your limitations. So in the Muladhara, naturally our limitations are more, because that's more about our physical being, our physical presence, and so on. So if our energy is stuck in the Muladhara, we have issues connected with our own survival, presence, and so on. And then the same energy, as it rises upwards, moves upwards, our identification, our, what we think of as our being, undergoes a transformation. So when we do breath work and we start accessing all these different parts of our system, of our chakra system in particular, we become aware of many different levels of chetna. Nothing wrong with that. All these different levels of chetna are necessary to function at our maximum in this world, in this life. And that's why they are there. It's not as if you have to go and get stuck in one and stay there. So they should all be available. So therefore, at some point of time, you need to look after your own physical well-being, your own physical presence, and looking after that is also one part of your dharma. In the Swadhisthana, there is greater interest in looking after you, yourself, your loved ones, your family, your partner, or whatever, things like that. As you come to the Manipura, your awareness or your inclusiveness becomes more widened. It includes a larger family or members in the family, a larger social structure. As you come to the Anahata, it becomes even more wide. It includes more life forms, maybe more humans, if you like, even from different parts of the world or different backgrounds and so on. At the Vishuddhi, the same thing grows to include even more. And then as you come to the Agya and the Sahasra, at the Sahasra, there is no difference. I mean, you are actually part of one, that oneness, that wholeness. And therefore, while you are on earth, while you are living this life, and you are going through different experiences, you have to perform at many levels. There's no reason why you shouldn't feel that oneness, but at the same time, look after your physical well-being, look after the well-being of your family or of a greater society, your country, your nation, and so on, and humanity, all other creatures. They should also be part of your being, in a sense. So you look after, you think of their well-being, you do whatever you can for their well-being as well. So it's not as if you are doing something for your own well-being. That means you cannot do something for others' well-being. Or if you're doing something for the well-being of your family, you cannot do something for the well-being of even more. No, the meeting is on. What happened? Monica ji is not there? Monica ji missed out or what? You all can hear me, can't you? Yeah. So Monica ji got, okay, some issue with her connection. So this is what it is, you work your energy through the whole system so that you can function at many different levels as needed. This is what makes a person, fully functional in life. So supposing you're looking after the welfare of society, but you can't look after the welfare of your own family, then that creates a little problem. It'll create disturbances in your well-being, in your state of mind, in your emotions. So we need to balance everything. Om. Is that lotus happen? Is that lotus opening happening well for everyone? Is it feel clearly sensed at the Manipura, and is there a change in your sensations, in your feelings as your breath comes in? If you notice something, please share. आवाज नहीं आ रही. I think someone is trying to say something, but I can't hear.
I can't feel any vibration, but I can visualize the lotus.
Okay, but can you feel that your breath is feeling a little smoother, a little subtler?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else feeling anything else? If this happens well, you will actually start feeling certain sensations. Actually, pleasant sensations, pleasant kind of sensations. Om. Om.
Sir, along with this, do we need to do simultaneously Hanuman breath also?
Yes, 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 please understand. Everything that is shown and taught is in addition to what has been done before. We are not excluding anything. जो पहले वाला हो रहा था उस पे ये additional चीज हुई है. I think I said it before as well. Santoshji, by the way, I hope you're feeling a little better today. Your mind is a little more at peace, a little more
Yeah,
calm.
I'm okay now. I'm okay.
Great, 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 wonderful. Good resilience. Lakshmi ji, how's it going for you? Oh, Monica ji, welcome back. I can see you now. Lakshmi ji, how's it going for you? Are you being able to keep up with whatever is going on?
Yes, Rajesh. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've done the program before, so you are fairly familiar. You are aware of both the channels. You went through the process in your last course as well. And now, of course, you're becoming more aware of the flow of energy through the Manipura. Okay, very good. Very good, Lakshmi ji. Oh, Lakshmi ji, I think you had mentioned that you had signed up for one of your relatives as well, or you'd gotten one of your relatives to sign up as well. Something like this is coming to mind.
Yeah, I signed up for my mother, but I was
Ah,
with her when I signed up, and then that program got postponed, right?
right,
So now
right.
she's not there, and she needs help to
Oh
join.
my,
So I'll probably do it some other time when I'm, at home with her. So.
okay, okay, okay. But you can guide her, you can show her the techniques. Maybe.
Yeah, she's full of excuses, so it helps to learn it from somebody.
चलिए कोई बात नहीं. Yeah, Monica ji, anything coming into your observation, anything you are sensing with the flow of energy from the Manipura?
It has been the same that the last
आवाज clear. Sound is not.
because then my connection got disturbed and twice I disconnected. Yeah,
Okay.
some issue with my internet connection. Yes.
Okay. No, my question was the flow of energy through the Manipura. Is it bringing anything to your awareness? Is it bringing anything to your? Are you observing anything? Any sensations?
Initially, I observed
No, the voice is breaking.
some vibrations over there and some lotus light going in circular motion here. I'm connected.
Okay, so there's some problem with the sound because the sound is breaking and it's also echoing. But I think you mentioned some kind of vibrations, and that's okay. Fine, fine, very good. Yeah. So this is the practice that I needed, that I shared yesterday, but I've been able to share a little more. Now, this same lotus opening that you have done now at two places, one is at the tailbone and one is now at the Manipura. You can actually bring the same lotus opening sensation to your Swadhisthana, and you can also bring it to your Muladhara. So in Muladhara, you might actually feel that there are two contrarian things happening. One is when you breathe in, you are engaging the Muladhara. And then at the same time, you are doing this dilation, or you're doing this lotus opening at the Muladhara. Very powerful technique. When they happen together, you will actually begin to feel certain waves of pleasure in your body. And that's a wonderful thing. So see if it comes to your experience. See if it comes in your awareness. Om. 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 I'm sorry, a little long or something in my mouth. Lychee. Clove. I hope it's visible. Clove. So this subtle energy that's coming in through the Manipura brings warmth, brings a certain amount of heat into the whole body. If you want, you can start visualizing this energy washing more particularly into your lungs, so that phlegm, etc., that may have collected over there starts getting moved out, starts getting expelled from the system. So do this, keep channeling your breath up the spine and include gargling at least once or maybe twice a day. If you gargle with reasonably hot water, not just warm, reasonably hot means that your body is able to tolerate. We don't want it scalding, we don't want you hurting yourself, but reasonably hot. And if you make a tea solution, that means if you add a little bit of green tea or even black tea or red tea as black tea, tea bag say, so that you get that chai ka pani, tea liquor. And then of course you can throw out the tea bag if you use a tea bag. Add a pinch of salt as well. A pinch of salt, not too much, so that not so much that the water tastes very salty or too much brine, like brine, but reasonably salty, so that it's able to act on your chakra, your throat, and start cleansing any kapha, etc., that is there. So salt, whatever it does is, when it goes into that area, because salt is concentrated or a greater concentration, because of that it will draw in any kind of kapha that is there. Kapha is what? Kapha is basically water and earth, element, these two elements together. So if there is any kapha there, the presence of salt in that solution which you are using to gargle with, it'll pull out, it'll help draw out kapha from that area, and that's good. So the more kapha you are able to expel from your system, the more your nadis will start getting cleansed. As your nadis start getting cleansed, collection that has happened in the lungs and other nadis, and they start coming out, it'll start impacting the quality of your breath, of course, but also all other things in your life. Remember, to breathe better is to live better. If there is a collection of phlegm in your body, wherever this phlegm is located, whether it's in your guts, whether it's in your lungs, whether it's in your other nadis, it's going to interfere with something. Whatever else is the function of those organs or those body parts, because of the presence of excess phlegm, some of those functions will get impacted. So therefore, when you start cleansing all this excess phlegm out of your system, the other functions will happen better. And that means you will start getting benefits in many, many different areas. Cleansed nadis, a clearer sushumna immediately helps with the quality of your breath. Immediately you'll start feeling the change. People who've done the Shwasko Shuddhi Kriya in particular may have noticed, because there we work directly on the sushumna. And we try different techniques to cleanse the Sushumna very powerfully, very effectively. So if you do that, and then if you do a little bit of what is being shared here, what is being taught here, the cleansing will gather pace. Unfortunately, cleansing is not a one-day affair. It's not as if I can do it one day and then I'm good for life. No, it's not like that. It's an ongoing process. 72,000 nadis, a lot of stuff collected over a lot of places and areas. It all has to be removed. It all has to be moved out. Sorry for the music.
When can we join the Shvasko Shuddhi Kriya course?
Yeah, the Shvasko Shuddhi usually once a month. The last one happened on the 15th.
How can we
Awaz clear.
join the Shvasko
Sound is not clear,
Shuddhi
Gurji.
course?
Breaking, sound is breaking. I couldn't hear you. Doesn't matter. You can send in your question in the Tridosha balancing group, and I will take a look at it later, and I will try and answer your question. We are all in that group now, Tridosha balancing. So whatever you said just now, because I wasn't able to hear it clearly, you can send it in that group. I'll try and answer. But for now, my question is, how is your breath different than when you were not doing what you are doing now? So what changes are you observing? What sensations are you noticing in your breath? Yeah, thank you, Geeta ji. Okay, looks like Monica ji has gone out again. Next month should be the next Svasko Shuddhi Kriya. Yeah, usually it's once a month, because we've been doing it for some time, and once a month seems to be working well. And the last one was just a few days ago, 15th, 16th, 17th of August. So the next one will hopefully be sometime around the middle or nearer the middle of August. I'll have to discuss with people at VYASA and come decide on a final date. Problem is the timings. I have other courses going on in the mornings and evenings, so that's become a challenge. So I'll have to find a suitable. 11 o'clock is when I did the last one. It's not a very pleasant time for most, like this course. 11 o'clock. It doesn't suit too many people. But I'll see if I can fit in something in the morning. Hopefully. Right. Since sound, etc., is not very clear, since communication is not so good, we will end for today. Please continue with whatever you are doing so far. Same breath. Remember to use that lotus opening at the Manipura. Remember to draw in that subtle energy through the Manipura. Let it pass towards the Swadhisthana, the Muladhara, and up into the lungs, throat area. Let it act like a cleansing breath, as if it's cleaning out, as if it's taking away all the phlegm or phlegm related conditions in those areas, leaving you in a better position to breathe and do your other activities. Santoshji, you wish to say something?
No.
Okay. Any observations you wish to share?
Nothing, sir. No sensation, nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Anyone else? Anything? No one?
So,
Right.
so I just didn't felt any vibration at any other part of my body, just on my head.
Okay. Doesn't matter. जो आ रहा है, observe करिए and continue doing it. Whatever period you do today, जितनी भी देर करते हो आप कर लो. And then tomorrow before our session, please do it.
Okay.
And then we'll build on that tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's do
Today, Friday, I think next Monday, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. You're right, Santoshji. Not tomorrow. Saturday, Sunday, no class. Our next class is on Monday next week. That's right. Thank you, Santoshji. Very good. Yeah. Perfect. So let's do our 3 ohms and then we can sign off. We close your eyes. Take a slow, full, deep breath. Om. Om.
So before we wind up, sorry,
Ji, go on.
can you just write it in the this WhatsApp message? What exactly once again we need to do this practice?
नहीं, I will not write. अभी जैसे बताया आपको उसी में से you have to understand because I've repeated it number of times.
Yeah, sure.
In trying to write, something may not be expressed the way I mean it, or it may be understood in a way different than what I mean. So therefore, when we do it live, that information is available to you in real time. If there is a doubt, if there is a question, you are welcome to ask me. If I try to write it down, there will be less clarity than I intend, or there should be. And also it will take a very long time to actually get the ideas across. So that's not going to work. I'm sorry, Santoshji.
Okay, fine, sure.
Pay a little more attention during the class time and let the clarity come. If there is a question, if there is any doubt, you're welcome to ask.
Right.
Thank you all. Have a beautiful day.
Yeah,
And
thank you, sir.
I will see you on Monday. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Rajesh.
I don't know if I missed any message from anyone or something, but if it is, I can't help it.